The Aotearoa Rugby Pod Super Rugby Workhorse of the Week is brought to you by Farmlands. Now, Farmlands is committed to bringing rugby to the rural communities, like the Farmlands Cup earlier this year between the Crusaders and the Highlanders. You can also go down to Farmlands, get yourself some good wet weather gear, so when you're on the sidelines watching some footy, you're going to be in good, warm, not wet state. Workhorse of the Week.
I've got a couple of nominations, as I like to have. You know, you've got to spread the love. And then I'll get to my winner. Believe it or not a Blues player this week. But for my Blues nomination, Adrian Choate. I thought, you know, All Black Dylan Hunt out. Blake Gibson, been called into the All Blacks before. And Dalton Papali'i, he's out as well. You know, he's in form 7, potentially All Black 7 in time. But Adrian Choate, he was just everywhere. He was into everything. I think he split his head about 9 times, went off, came back on, went off, came back on, and just was into it. So he was a mighty workhorse. Chiefs, I thought Peter Gus Solakula was, you know, into everything, getting around, few pick and goes through the middle, bit of offload game, good carries. I think you've got to mention Liam Messam as a workhorse coming back at 37. That definitely deserves a
lot of work.
Tip of the cap. And the Highlanders workhorse for me is Mitch Hunt, scrapping with Dane Coles. He's working hard to be doing that. But my winner is Hurricane 7, who had a massive shift. Du'Plessis Kirifi, massive at the breakdown, turnovers, great link play. One scored a try, but there was also great link play and a lot of offload games that led to other tries. Big in defence, good in the line out, good in the scrum. So ticked all his core roles with a bit of flair, and just his passion and his effort to celebrate with his teammates when they did something well was exceptional. So it wasn't just celebrating his own moments, he celebrated his teammates' moments. So for my workhorse of the week, Du'Plessis Kirifi.
That's great.
Out of the Hurricanes.
Out of the Hurricanes. And he's undersized for a loose forward. I know he's a power athlete, but he's undersized for a loose forward, so he has to work hard.
He does, and he's just hitting form. If he can carry this form on into the Trans-Tasman, talking about a lot of sevens, you know, we've talked about Boucher, we've talked about Papali'i, we've talked about all these other sevens, but he is hitting some good form. Harmon hitting some good form, and a man that toured with the All Blacks, so he's in and around the mix already, and they do like to go back to their incumbents first. He's hitting some good form at a pretty good time before that All Black team is named.
Who've you got?
Well, I actually want to go to his other Lucy mate, Devon Flanders. But I thought he was outstanding on the weekend. He had 45 metres on 8 carries and
45 carries. Huge workhorse.
Yeah, well, he didn't have 45 carries, but Jez, he looked like he did after the game. He had 45 metres, with 8 carries, and actually beat 4 defenders, which we talk around Artie Severe, around him being able to beat defenders with him being at number 8. I think he's been outstanding, especially on the weekend, but probably the last 2 weeks with Artie being out. I had Nani Lawapi as well. We talked around his metres and his numbers. He was outstanding on the weekend around not only his ball carrying ability, but his distribution, his communication skills from, obviously Ruben Love. And then I've got actually 3 Blues players, Jipper, that you actually be pretty, ready to pump them up, mate. I actually had Gerard Tuioti Mariner.
Yeah, nice.
I thought he was outstanding on the weekend, and just his dominance in the tackle. He's been real dominant in the tackle in probably the past fortnight, and he's just been really bringing up that line speed and real dominant hit. I'd love to see what his dominance stats are. You probably can get that for us next week, mate. Yeah, nice, 39%. There we go. So he's really for that Blues wall. Hit Zahn Sullivan again. I thought he was silky. Obviously. Talked around his kicking game. There's a few that got charged down, but he was always looking for that kicking space, and obviously great to score as well with his pace being able to be put away from Rieko Ioane, who put him away just nicely. And then I actually had Hoskins Sotutu, mate. I think he was massive, mate. And people probably see that he scored that try, being able to have a dominant scrum, which we talked around in that last 15 minutes. He scored that try. Xavier unfortunately won't get the Grammy Award, or the Oscar Award, for trying to fake that try.
No, you won't.
But yeah, look, mate, he had 15 carries, 55 metres, and they were hard 55 metres, just working hard to get those metres, and he had 11 passes, and that just comes back, we've talked around his distribution skills and being in the all-around player, and he had 1 turnover as well, mate. So my man is Hoskins Sotutu. For this one.
Oh, he loves it. What I would like to say, workhorse of the week for me goes to you. That was some great stat chat.
That's good.
Good
You know,
stats.